Let us see how we can calculate seasonality factors using a pivot chart. Just like earlier, we first create a pivot table. I want to keep my order date in rows. We will keep our sales amount in value. And if you look carefully, now we have year, quarter, and the month. So we have all the three options available. And what I want to do is to remove the quarter and keep the year in columns. And now my data appears like this. So we have all the 12 months and each of the months has data for all the 4 years. Let's make a chart. So we click on insert and then we can choose any chart we want. Let's choose a line chart and a line chart appears like this. And immediately you notice we can look at the seasonality factors and we can also see the correlation between all of these 4 years like this. Let's keep that and let's make one more. Let us say we want to look at a month over month change. So just like earlier, I'll keep my month in rows. We will keep year in column and we'll keep the sales value in value. Let me also remove all the decimal places. Excellent. Now we can see that the value of February is lesser than January. That means that there was a decline. Then it shot up in March and then it again decreased in April and so on and so forth. To do this calculation, we can simply right click, select show values as percentage difference from, and then we want to choose the base item as the previous item. This means that Feb will be compared to Jan, March will be compared to Feb, and so on and so forth. The final result looks like this. So the calculation has happened automatically. It is basically taking the current year, the current month minus the previous month divided by the previous month. Now when we make a chart, we will get a chart like this. Now I know the reason the chart is not looking very nice is because this one number is super high. So perhaps what I want to do is to just select the axis and stop it at a maximum of 3%. We want to stop it at a maximum of 3% so that I can see all the changes for all the 12 months, right? So it is giving me a wealth of information. It is telling me that for each one of the months, for every year, what was the change that happened from one month to the other. For example, if you look at this particular column, it tells us that for the year 2013, for the month of September, there was a 193% increase compared to the previous month, which was August. So very powerful. Let's see if we can do one more example. Let's also look at a running total. We will again create a new pivot table. Let's keep the sales value in values. We will keep subcategory in rows. And we want to keep sales value one more time, just so that you can see the difference. To find out the running total, I will right click, select show values as, and then percentage of running total. Now this gives me numbers that look like this, right? Now what we want to do very smartly is to take our category and put it in columns. Okay, now just try to understand what is happening. We have all the 17 subcategories here and we have the three categories in the column. Obviously there are blank values because only specific subcategories belong to certain categories. Now this is not how you should do a running total because you have missing values here. So I want to do this a little differently now. Let's cancel this entire pivot. So I'll clear my, let's do it once again. We want to calculate the running total. It makes sense to keep the order date because usually you calculate a running total for a time series data. We will put the year in column, I will remove the quarter and we'll keep the month here. Let's also keep the sales value in values. And now we can right click, show values as percentage of running total. And this will show us numbers like this without any missing values. And now when we create a chart and we convert this into a line chart, we will get something like this, right? So remember, this is not showing me a trend line. It is actually showing me the running total for each one of the years separately. So if you hover your mouse on any one point, it tells you that till that point, what is the total lifetime sales? Again, when should you be using them? I will leave that up to you to decide. But this can again be very, very handy. And we can even do this without keeping the years. For example, if I keep all my months here and we put, let us say, our business segment in columns, and we convert this into a chart and change the chart type to a line chart, again, you notice we can see the running total of all these three business segments. And remember, this can be interacted with by other slicers. For example, if I make a slicer for my year, so pivot table analyze, insert slicer, and I will select my year here, you will notice that I get an option to choose the specific year. And now whichever year I select, it shows me a different running total only for that particular year. Again, it can be very handy when you're in the middle of a year and you want to find out what is the achievement till date and what is the balance to go. So to recap what all we have done, I've shown you a bunch of pivot charts. As you can see, the charts are not different. The difference is in the fact that pivot charts allow you to do some calculations and also you get slices and timeline. That is what makes it very, very powerful.